channel. Today's video is going to be a holiday reading list for 2021. It's one of my favorite things to do is to do some seasonal reading, and I read a few last year that really just put me in the Christmas spirit, so I'm really excited to do that again this year. And so I'm going to go through a few that I read last year, some that are on my TBR, and just ones that I've heard really good things about. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. So the first book I have is the 12 Dates of Christmas. This one I read last year. It was like the first book that really got me into like holiday reading, and it was super cute. It's just a really cute, sweet second chance romance. You'll find, I think, a lot of Christmas romance books are like second chance ones. This one's friends to lovers, things like that. So I'll just read you the back really quickly, but I will also leave a link down below to all of the list on Goodreads if you want to add any to your TBR. So this one is, when it comes to relationships, 34-year-old Kate Turner is ready to say bah humbug. The sleepy town of Blexford, England isn't exactly brimming with prospects, and anyway, Kate's found fulfillment in her career as a designer and her delicious side job making her old friend Matt's neighborhood cafe. Baking. Then her best friend signs her up for a dating agency that promises to help singles find in love before the holidays. 23 days until Christmas, 12 dates with 12 different men. The odds must finally be in our favor, right? Yet with each new date more disastrous than the one before and the whole town keeping tabs on her misadventures, Kate must remind herself that sometimes love, like mistletoe, shows up where it's least expected. And maybe, just maybe, it's been right within her reach all along. If you liked People We Meet on Vacation, I think you'll like this one. I saw that Jenny Bayliss wrote a second book this year called A Season for Second Chances. So I definitely wanted to pick it up. It sounds like it's going to be sort of similar vibes, and it's just around the Christmas time too, so I'm very excited. I will read the description again for you. Annie Sharp's spark for life has fizzled out. Her kids are grown up, her restaurant is doing fine on its own, her 26-year-old marriage has come to an unceremonious end. Untethered for the first time in her adult life, she finds a winter guardian position in a historic seaside home and decides to leave her city life behind for a brand new beginning. When she arrives in Willow Bay, Annie is enamored by the charming house, the invigorating sea breeze, and the town's rich seasonal traditions. Not to mention her neighbor receives her with open arms. That is, all except the surly nephew of the homeowner whose grand plans for the property are at odds with her residency. As Christmas approaches, tensions and tides rise in Willow Bay, and Annie's future seems less and less certain. But with a little can-do spirit and holiday magic, the most difficult time of her life will become a season for second chances. So it sounds like there's a little bit of a grumpy sunshine trope in there too, which is super exciting. I feel like last year the big trends in like reading were enemies to lovers and fantasy. Now everything's like contemporary romance, friends to lovers, and grumpy sunshine. I feel like anytime I hear people talking about books on Instagram or TikTok, those are the things that they mention. So this one sounds like it has everything in it, and I really liked the writing style in the last book, so I was really excited to pick this one up as well. Something I also just love about this that is probably silly is, so the first book has a red spine and the second one has an orange spine, and I'm really curious if next year, if she comes out with like another Christmas book, if it's gonna have a yellow spine, if she's going to go rainbow, because they match really. They are the same fonts and everything. Like they even have the like bits of snow on it. So it just makes me think that it's very possible, and that would make me really happy if I collected a rainbow, even though they're not a series, but all by the same author. The next book I don't have a physical copy of, but it is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. That they are a writing duology. Like they're two writers who write under the same pen name. This was super cute. I really liked this book. It sort of reminds me of, it's like a Christmas version of Groundhog Day. That's sort of how I would describe it. But let me read the description to you. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but not for Maylin Jones. She's living with her parents, hates her going nowhere job, and has just made a romantic era of epic proportions. But perhaps worst of all, this is that the last Christmas May will be at her favorite place in the world, the snowy Utah cabin where she and her family have spent every holiday since she was born, along with the two other beloved families. Mentally melting down as she drives away from the cabin for the final time, May throws out what she thinks is a simple plea to the universe. Please, show me what will make me happy. The next thing she knows, tires screech and metal collides, everything goes black. But when May gasps awake, she's on an airplane bound for Utah, where she begins the same holiday all over again, with one hilarious disaster after another sending her back onto the plane. May must figure out how to break free of the strange time loop and finally get her true love under the mistletoe. Jam-packed with Yuletide cheer and unforgettable cast of characters in Christina Lauren's trademark hijinks, this swoon-worthy romantic read will make you believe in the most powerful of wishes and the magic of the holidays. Yeah, so it's really, really cute. I highly recommend. If you like any Christina Lauren book, I'm sure you'll like this. It's a great one. The next up I have is the Holiday Swap. This one is what's described on the back as Gilmore Girls meets The Parent Trap meets Cake Wars, and that just sounds so exciting. I will read the back in a second, but this book, when as soon as I picked it up, it just gave me the same vibes as the 12 Dates of Christmas last year, with even has the red spine and the blue cover. So that's the reason I immediately picked it up, because it was on sale, and I just knew that I was going to want a Christmassy read, and this one sounded like it was going to give me the same feeling as the 12 Dates of Christmas. So when chef Charlie Goodwin gets hit on the head on the LA set of her reality baking show, she loses her critical ability to taste and smell. Meanwhile, Charlie's identical twin, Cass, is frantically trying to hold her own life together back in their quaint hometown while running the family's bakery and dealing with a breakup that just won't end. With only days until Christmas, a desperate Charlie and Cass do something they haven't done since they were kids: switch places. But when rugged firefighter Jake Greenman and gorgeous physician assistant Miguel Rodriguez are thrown into the mix, will the twins' identity swap be a recipe for disaster or getting their lives back on track? So it sounds super cute. I'm just really excited. It also reminds me a bit of that movie on Netflix with the prince. It's got, what's her name from? Anyways, it sounds super good. I'm really excited. Next up is Last Christmas in Paris. It's a historical fiction. I don't know anything about it. The reason I have it is because my boyfriend's sister moved and gave me all of her books because she couldn't take them with her. So this is very different from the other holiday reads that I have in this list. So I just figured I'd put it in here because if you're not a huge romance person but you really like historical fiction, then this might be the book for you. So, Christmas Time in Paris. Thomas Harding travels to the City of Lights, a packet of cherished letters in hand, letters that tell a story of love and loss, friendship and family, and the innocent hopes of generations devastated by war. As he reads the letters one more time, Tom is transported back to 1914 in the sunlit August day when Evie Elliott waves goodbye to him and her brother Will as they head to the Western Front. All believe the war will be over by Christmas when the trio plan to reunite and celebrate the holiday among the romantic cafes of Paris, but it is not to be. As months slip into years, Tom's and Evie's lives become bound together by letters and telegrams, notes and stories that travel between them from the front line in France to a quiet suburb of London. But as their friendship flourishes, there is far more than the world's held between the pages of Tom's and Evie's letters. Now, decades later, Thomas finds himself once again in his beloved Paris, determined to fulfill a last promise and to lay to rest the ghosts of the past. But one final letter is waiting for him. So it sounds super cute. I'm excited to read this one. It's very different from the others, so it'll be like a different vibe of Christmas. The last physical copy book that I have to read is The Santa Suit by Mary Kay Andrews. This one is actually a novella. It's super short, so if you're not someone who reads a ton, or if you want to read a Christmas book but you don't have a ton of time around the holidays, this might be the book for you. It's like 200 pages, I think. When a newly divorced Ivy Perkins buys an old farmhouse sight unseen, she is definitely looking for a change in her life. The farmhouse, called the Four Roses, a labor of love, but Ivy didn't bargain for just how much labor it entailed. The previous family left so much furniture and junk that it's a full-time job sorting through it. At the top of the closet, Ivy finds an old Santa suit, beautifully made and decades old. In the pocket, there's a note written in a childish hand. It's from a little girl who had one Christmas wish, and that was for her father to return home from the war. This discovery sets Ivy off on a mission. Who wrote the note? Did the man ever come home? What mysteries did the Rose family hold? Ivy's quest draws her into the community at a time when all she wants is to be left alone to nurse her wounds. But the magic of Christmas makes miracles happen, and Ivy might find more than she ever thought possible. A welcoming town, a family reunited, a mystery solved, and a second chance at love. So that sounds super cute. A bit of a historical something going on there too. Another short book recommendation that I have is Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I don't have the physical copy of this one. She did self-publish this, so you're only going to find this on Amazon or through like your e-reader, so on Amazon through your Kindle or on your Kobo. But yeah, this one is reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So the female lead is the grumpy and the male lead is the sunshine. And if you read any Tess Bailey books, I'm sure you know that this theme is going to be pretty spicy. But it's also pretty short, so if you also don't have a ton of time, this might be the one for you. So here we go. 2 weeks before Christmas and all through Manhattan, shops' windows are decorated in red and green satin. I'm standing alone in front of the famous Vivant department store when a charming man named Aiden asks my opinion of the decor. It's a tragedy in Tinsdale, I say, unable to lie. He asked for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. Did I know he owned the place? No. He put me on the spot. Now I'm working for the man, trying to ignore that he's hot. But as a down on her luck girl with a difficult past, I know an opportunity when I see one, and I have to make it last. I'll put my heart and soul into dressing the holiday windows. I'll work without stopping, and when we lose the battle with temptation, I'll try to remember that I'm just window shopping. And if that description doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what will. It just like so cute with the rhyming and everything like that. So the last two books that I have for you are actually not Christmas. So if you don't celebrate Christmas, one of these books might be more up your speed, up your speed or your lane. I definitely really want to read them still. They sound super cute and everything like that. So I'm definitely going to read them still. Just holiday spirit in general, you know? So the first is The Matzo Ball by Jean Meltzer. Oi to the world, Rachel Rubenstein Goldblatt is a nice Jewish girl with a shameful secret. She loves Christmas. For a decade, she's hidden her career as a Christmas romance novelist from her family. Her talent has made her a bestseller, even as her chronic illness has always kept the kind of love she writes about out of reach. But when her diversity-conscious publisher insists she write a Hanukkah romance, her well of inspiration suddenly runs dry. Hanukkah is not magical, it's not merry, it's not Christmas. Desperate not to lose her contract, Rachel's determined to find her muse at the Matzo Ball, a Jewish music celebration on the last night of Hanukkah, even if it means working with her summer camp arch-enemy, Jacob Greenberg. Though Rachel and Jacob haven't seen each other since they were kids, their grudge still glows brighter than a menorah. But as they spend more time together, Rachel finds herself drawn to Hanukkah and Jacob in a way she never expected. Maybe this holiday of lights will be the spark she needed to set her heart ablaze. So that one sounds super cute. And I think that even if it sounds like it talks about Christmas too, and makes you appreciate Hanukkah more too. The second book that I have that's not Christmas themed but holiday themed is The Holly Jolly Diwali. This one I'm actually so excited about this because the female protagonist is a type A data analyst, which is me. So this sounds right up my alley. One type A data analyst, discovers her free-spirited side on an impulsive journey from bustling Mumbai to the gorgeous beaches of Goa and finds love waiting for her on Christmas morning. 29-year-old Nikki Randhawa has always made practical decisions. Despite her love for music and art, she has become an analyst for the stability. She's always stuck close to home in case her family needed her, and she's always dated the kinds of guys on paper rather than the kind of guys that seem good on paper rather than the ones that give her butterflies. When she's laid off, Nikki realizes the practical hasn't paid out for her. So the first time ever, she throws caution to the wind and books a last-minute flight to her friend Daya's wedding. Nikki arrives in India just in time to celebrate Diwali, the festival of lights, where she meets London musician Samir Mukherjee. Maybe it's the splendor of Mumbai or the magic of the holiday season, but Nikki is immediately drawn to Sam. At the wedding, the champagne flows and their flirtatious banter makes it clear that their attraction is mutual. When Nikki and Sam join Daya, her husband, and their friends on a group honeymoon, their connections grows deeper. Free-spirited Sam helps Nikki get in touch with her passionate and creative side, and with her Indian roots. When she gets a new job offer back home, Nikki must decide what she wants out of the next chapter of her life, to cling to the straight and narrow like always, or take a leap of faith and live the kind of bold life the old Nikki never would have dreamed of. So yeah, that one sounds so much fun. That's all the books that I have for you. There's so many more out there. I stuck to more on the adult side, but there's also some really cute YA. The only one that I would say probably even has any spice, so usually the Christmas books are pretty just like cutesy rom-coms, is Window Shopping. I would say probably 16 plus for all these books. I haven't looked into it though too much, so I don't know if any of them are more on the YA side. But yeah, that's all the books I have for you. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Question of the day is, what is the book that you're most looking forward to read in December? I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!